Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well today. In this video, I'm going to be covering a few new farming opportunities that just launched on the Polygon network within the last week. All of these were covered in my newsletter, so if you wanted to find out about these opportunities ahead of everybody else, then you'll definitely want to sign up for my free newsletter by clicking the link in the description below, or you could join a community of yield farmers by becoming an active member in my Discord. Or at the very least, make sure you guys go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter. This way you can keep track of all the farms that I'm interested in. The link to my newsletter, my Discord channel, and my Twitter profile can be found in the description below. With the intro out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Alright, to get things started, the first protocol I'm going to talk about is Ramp DeFi. And before I begin, if you guys wanted to learn more about Ramp DeFi, I've completed a thorough video review. If you guys wanted to access the video, just click the upper right hand corner of the screen or click the link in the description below. This protocol first deployed on Ethereum, later they expanded to the Binance Smart Chain, and recently they've made the expansion into the Polygon network. And what makes this protocol unique is that all the LP positions that you have here, they can be used as collateral to take out a loan in RUSD, which is the protocol's native stablecoin. And unlike other protocols where the underlying collateral stops earning interest, with Ramp DeFi, let's say for example you were to get exposure to this LP position and deposit it here for an APY of 78%, even after you borrow your RUSD, the underlying collateral that you use will continue to accumulate interest even after you take the loan. And right now it's a pretty good time to go ahead and try out the protocol, because if you borrow against your collateral and you take out RUSD, it's actually trading above $1. So by converting half of your position to USDC, you can net about 4.3%, because at some point I do expect the peg to go below $1. So if you take out a loan now and let's say in the future the peg goes below $1 or below the price that you got it at, it's actually going to be cheaper for you to pay back that loan. So once you convert half of your borrowed RUSD into USDC and provide liquidity to the QuickSwap pool, you can deposit your LP position here and earn an APY of 122%. And if you come here to Adamant, you can actually earn an APY of 873%. So instead of depositing your LP here on Ramp DeFi, you can actually take it over to Adamant to get a larger yield. So the net effect of that is that you'll have an LP position that's earning 78%, and then you'll borrow money against it, and that money that you borrow against it will be either earning 122%, or if you deposit it here on Adamant, it'll be earning 873%. And if you're new to Adamant and you want to learn more about the protocol, just click the upper right hand corner of the screen or click the link in the description below. Now I'd like to shift over to the second protocol that I'm going to be covering, Wault Finance. I just did a video review on the platform where I gave you guys an introduction and talk about the tokenomics, so you guys can reference that video if you guys are interested in learning more about the platform. This protocol also expanded from the Binance Smart Chain, and because they're new to the Polygon network, they're trying to make a name for themselves, so you can see some pretty robust yields. For example, on the stables you can get in excess of 20+%. And they also have a lot of solid ETH-based pairs like Aave, Link, Synthetics. And if you want to auto-compound those rewards because you don't want exposure to the WEX Poly token, you can bring that LP over here to 11.finance. Unlike Adamant, they don't charge a 30% performance fee, but the yields here for auto-compounding are going to be a lot less than Adamant, because unlike Adamant, they don't boost the yields with their native token. Here on Adamant, you're getting an additional yield paid in the ADI token. And recently, in conjunction with the Polygon network, they're going to allow WaltSwap users to earn a bonus interest paid in the MATIC token for providing liquidity in the WEX Poly / MATIC pool. Another thing you should guys keep an open ear for is the Launchpad. Launchpads on Binance Smart Chain in the past have been super lucrative. So if I were you guys, I would follow them on Twitter and pay attention to any announcements they make in regards to a potential launchpad happening on the Polygon network. Next up, we have Augury.finance. This protocol was an initial farm offering on Polycat. And what I like about this protocol is that you don't have to be subjected to impermanent loss. They only have single-sided pools. Almost all the pools have a 4-digit APR, but you do have to pay a 4% deposit fee. And if you're getting about 1200% a day, it shouldn't take more than a day to recoup that deposit fee. And what I like about this platform is that the governance token right away will entitle you to cash flow. For example, the deposit fees that are collected by the protocol, a portion of them will be redirected to Omen stakers, and it's going to be paid out in USDC. And so what their future plans are is to take the deposited funds and seek out yield on other DeFi protocols that they deem as being low risk, and the yield that's generated, they'll convert that into USDC and pay it to Omen stakers in the form of a dividend. So if you guys end up farming here on Augury, just take that into account. Unlike other governance tokens that we've been farming in the past, this token actually has utility. It entitles users to cash flow. I also covered more details in my newsletter, so if you guys want to learn a little bit more, just head over to my Substack and anybody can access it for free. One way to play this is that you could sell half of your Omen tokens into USDC, so this way you're capturing a portion of your yield farm gains. And after you sell half of your USDC, you can go ahead and head over to QuickSwap, provide liquidity, and then deposit your LP here to earn a yield of 1500%. This way you get to keep exposure to the Omen token in case it goes up, and also if it goes down, you can hedge against it by owning some USDC. And while all of that's going on, you also earn a very fat yield on your assets. All right, next up, we're going to talk about BZX. This protocol, much like Ramp DeFi, started off on Ethereum. They too expanded to BSC, and now they're on Polygon. Aside from the farms, you guys can actually leverage trade on the platform. This protocol allows for margin trading and also allows for margin lending to the traders. So if you're looking for a venue to trade with no KYC, you definitely want to check out Fulcrum for its leverage trading. Not only can you long, but you can also short. And if you're on the more risk adverse side and you don't want to gamble your assets and you're not into trading, then you guys could also lend to the margin traders. Currently, the APRs don't look so hot because not a lot of people are actually borrowing the assets, but once the borrow demand goes up, I expect the APRs to go up as well. And in an effort to bootstrap liquidity so that way there's enough assets to borrow, they're giving very robust yields for a wide variety of assets. They have a lot of single pools here, as you can see. I think Aave is probably one of the best pools that they have because currently the lend rate is 3.11%. And on top of that, you're getting another 64%. Currently, these single-sided asset pools aren't supported by any auto-compounding protocols, but I'd imagine that 11.finance or Beefy or someone will support them in the near future. But just be a little bit careful, because if you get PGov tokens, and let's say you wanted to let some of them marinate into this pool here, just know that BZRX and PGov, any rewards earned by these pools get vested for a minimum of 3 months. And lastly, we're going to go over Mai Finance. Now, this is another stablecoin protocol, but it's nothing like Titan Finance. In fact, their model is more closely aligned with MakerDAO because the stablecoins are fully collateralized. In fact, they're over collateralized. The liquidation ratio is 150%. So assuming that the peg mechanics are very similar to Maker, it's highly unlikely that this is going to significantly depeg. The governance token here is QI. It doesn't really have much utility yet, but in the future you'll be entitled to governance rights. And the stablecoin that's pegged to the US dollar is MATIC. Initially they're going to start off with MATIC, but in the future they're going to support other assets for collateral. And if you wanted to, you can actually mint QMATIC. So in other words, it's kind of like you're using your MATIC as collateral to borrow USD. But instead of USD, you're going to get QMATIC. Then what you could do is sell half of that QMATIC for USDC and provide liquidity into this pool to earn an APR of 38%. Now, given that there's so many opportunities out there to get a yield on MATIC, I don't think this is the best way to put your MATIC to work. But let's say in the future the yields for MATIC come down across the network. In that setting, it would make sense to borrow stables against your MATIC, because with this protocol, you're not paying any interest to go ahead and mint that QMATIC. You only pay a very small minting fee. By converting your QMATIC to any other stable coin and earning yield on other protocols, and since you're not paying any interest on it, all the interest that you capture by generating yield on this protocol or another protocol is 100% profit. Before you guys dive into any of these protocols, understand that in DeFi, the yields are typically very well correlated to the risk. So if you're looking at triple or quadruple digit yield, understand that you're taking on an immense amount of risk. Personally, I don't ape in too aggressively to these high yielding protocols. I basically stratify my risk and allocate a certain portion to farming on the highest risk protocols out there. This way, if anything unexpected or catastrophic happens, like it did with Mai Finance, at least I have something to fall back on. And if you think about it, if you're getting double-digit yield on your crypto assets like Bitcoin or Ethereum or MATIC, that's still pretty damn good, and you're probably doing better than 90% of the market participants out there, because most people haven't even bothered to touch DeFi yet. And if you're new to the space or you wanted to talk with like-minded individuals about DeFi farming, you can learn a lot for free by joining my Discord channel. But if you're interested in following my moves in real time, by joining even the lowest tier I have on Patreon, not only will you get the paid version to my newsletter, but you'll also get access to all the private Discord channels I have. If you're new to crypto and DeFi and you don't know where to get started, or maybe you don't have a lot of time to keep up with everything and you want to expedite your learning of the space, if you guys end up joining one of the higher tiers I have on Patreon, you can even get one-on-one access with me. If you feel like any of those services would benefit you, make sure you guys go ahead and check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is CryptoOneStop signing out. I'll talk to you folks next time. Bye.